It takes courage, humility, and determination to apologize. It's interesting to note what's stated at Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3. Do nothing out of contentiousness or out of egotism, but with humility consider others superior to you. That means our determined effort is not to win an argument, which could be contentious, nor do we want to start a discussion with the primary thought being that we are in the right. That could mean that we are self-concerned or egotistical. Rather, in harmony with the principle of that scripture, we want to act with humility. Our aim should be to pursue peace. Even if we think the other person is being unreasonable, we apologize. Why is it so important to do so? Because that is what makes our worship to Jehovah acceptable. If we find ourselves in a situation when we have offended a fellow worshiper, we want to apply Jesus' counsel. We want to take the initiative to approach our brother or sister. We may need to acknowledge their hurt feelings. We may also need to ask, what can I do to make amends? Often, a sincere apology is all that is needed. When two humans are at odds, there may be a measure of blame on both sides, since both are imperfect and prone to err. This usually calls for mutual concessions. Even if only the one apologizing is right, the issue is not so much who is right and who is wrong, but who will take the initiative to make peace. When the Apostle Paul heard that the Christians in Corinth were taking fellow servants of God to secular courts over personal differences, he said, "Why do you not rather let yourself be wronged? Why do you not rather let yourself be defrauded?" The principle is clear. Peace among fellow believers is more important than proving who is right and who is wrong. Keeping this in mind makes it easier to apologize for a wrong that someone thinks we've committed against him or her. A heartfelt apology can open the way to a constructive conversation. It can minimize problems and restore peace.
There's nothing all that controversial in what Ralph Walls has just been saying there, is there? It's just the hypocrisy that I cannot stand. As I've already argued, we're talking about an organisation with a track record of never apologising when it makes serious mistakes, not just mistakes, but situations in which people end up dying, such as with the blood issue, or situations where abuse gets covered up, or children are abused because abuse is covered up. There's hypocrisy there. And there's also, quite frankly, hypocrisy in what we've heard, not just in the same convention, but the same day of the same convention. Let's remember the experience we heard earlier on the Saturday morning session in the baptism talk, when Gloria Herd, wife of governing body member Samuel Herd, got up and said the following.
One time, we moved in with a sister on Tuesday morning, and something I said upset her very much. She got very angry. Well, I decided not to pursue the issue because I had to live with her for a week. And I just decided to let her see by my conduct that I could never have meant what she thought. So as the week went by, the days went by, the tension lessened, and by Monday, when we left, we were the best of friends, and she gave me a big hug, and nothing more was said about the subject.
Well, sounds like you handled that beautifully, Sister Herd.
Yes, you handled that beautifully, Sister Herd. Only you didn't apologise, which, let's remember, is the advice that Ralph Walls has just given.
Even if we think the other person is being unreasonable, we apologize. Even if only the one apologizing is right. The issue is not so much who is right and who is wrong, but who will take the initiative to make peace.
So who do we listen to? Do we listen to Gloria Herd and William Turner when they say it's a beautiful way to deal with things if you don't apologize after offending someone, not just offending someone, but offending your host in whose house you are staying? It's apparently beautiful to not apologize under those circumstances. Do we listen to Gloria Herd and William Turner, or do we listen to Ralph Walls when he says, regardless of whose fault it is, just make sure you apologize, because that way there will be peace among Jehovah's followers? Who do we listen to? It's mixed messages. And as I've pointed out already, mixed messages and contradictory statements are exactly what you would expect from a man-made organization where you have multiple people assigned to write material for a convention, all with their own ideas and all with their own opinions. When you have that situation, something is going to get missed. I mean, you would expect there to be someone who's in charge of continuity, someone whose job it is to go through all of the talks and all of the experiences and all of the videos and make sure everything squares up. But because it's all man-made, because there is no divine direction over all of this, of course you're going to get contradictory and mixed messages.